Okay, should we do it, guys? Because you're on a schedule. I feel like we should just dive in. Hi guys. Look,
Hi.
Two of my favorite people.
Hi. Do you know who we were just talking about? Saoirse Ronan and Tavi Gevinson.
Yes.
Who I always want to say Gelson's, but that's the grocery store.
Same difference.
Gevinson.
She's heir to the
Gelson's throne. Saying that they were lovely, and I just want to go on the record to say that they're both lovely.
I love
and
Hannah.
we love them, and we all agree that we love them.
As opposed to the shit talking that we had.
We were doing a lot of shit talking,
but not about them.
To make up for that,
now we're talking about nice.
That those are two people
things
that we love, and we're just going to talk about a bunch of things that we love.
Positivity. Right. What are you loving right now, Sam? What do you have love for in your life?
I am loving life.
Oh,
no, I'm just
not really. No.
I love some chicken and spinach recently. That was pretty good. I was loving up on that.
Nice. Okay.
You know.
What is that like a staying in shape thing? Or you just
like that sounds like the rock diet.
Starving.
That sounds a little bit.
Yeah, it was kind of a staying in shape thing.
Kind
of like trying to fit in the suit thing.
Right.
Well, you are one of those people who, like, you're in a time warp. You know?
Am I?
Like, Elle Fanning's in a time warp. Maggie Smith in a time warp. There are some people who've just been the same age forever.
That's very kind of you to say, Anna. Well, you look pretty damn good yourself.
Oh, you.
Anna's 45 years old.
It's actually funny that you say that because in the car on the way here, someone tagged me in a photo and said, like, oh, this is so weird, this looks just like you. And it was a still photograph from John Wayne's first leading role, and there is a girl in it. I don't know the actress.
And you look like her?
And I like, at first glance, I was like, that looks like me in a wig.
That's like the Keanu Reeves thing. Have you seen that?
Well, you know, you have a classical kind of look. You have a kind of a classical look, yeah.
Like if you like zoom in on her face, it's not exactly the same by any stretch.
So you're not saying, actually, this is somebody that there's no magic involved or anything? You know. Okay, great.
But
just to clarify.
But I was like, I've kind of always wanted something like that to happen. Where like you meet somebody or you see a photo and it kind of like does for a second. Like, because people tweet at me all the time. Like,
Somewhere in Time, right?
Looks just like you. And I'm like, not really. This photo, I was like, that kind of looks like me. Maybe I am immortal.
You could be. We won't know until we try to kill you.
You are immortal.
Sam and I are going to murder you.
We're gonna what?
Sam and I are going to try and murder Anna. That's the only way to know if you're immortal or not.
Yes.
You get Dana Carvey?
I get Dana Carvey.
Really?
What?
I've gotten Christian Slater, Ethan Hawke.
Sure.
I don't know, a couple of those. What about you? You get any of those?
I get Kate Mara.
Okay.
And I think Kate Mara is like such a mega babe that I'm so flattered. And it happens to her too, and I always feel like bad because I'm like, I feel like I'm the awkward, less symmetrical one. So I'm like, sorry about that, Kate Mara. But whenever people are like, oh, I love you in House of Cards, I'm like, you think I'm pretty.
She is wee like you. She's got the weeness.
Babe. You are pretty.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're all babes here in our own respective way.
Three babes sitting in a room.
This age discussion is foremost on my mind, not to make it about me, but I just turned 40 a couple days ago, guys.
You look like a babe in the
I wasn't searching for that, but thank you. But Anna, you turned 30 last year. A few months ago, right?
Something like that.
Was that a big thing? Was that like?
No, it was, because like basically since I was in my late 20s, I felt like, well, this is 30s. Like it's just like clinging to the idea of being in your 20s when you're 27, 28, 29 is just like, I was in my 20s when I was like 24.
Right.
And now it's like, I'm basically 30. Like, no one's going like, oh my God, you're so young.
Right.
Like, I don't even know what to talk to you about 28 years old. So, I didn't feel weird about turning 30 at all.
Was there a big one for you, Sam? A big age or one that you're dreading in the future?
I'm so old.
No.
I'm so much older than it. I'm like... 40 was good. I like 40.
Okay.
I actually thought 40 was my favorite age, and I wish I could have just stopped the clock at 40.
So you're saying basically the last couple days are the last of my life.
Apart after 40, especially
God.
physically. But 40 was really like perfect. Everything kind of came together.
So you've got 10 years left of happiness, Anna. I've got none left.
Yeah. I'll spend it wisely.
Yeah, 40's good. 30's good too. 33 was very good.
Why is that?
You felt a little Jesus-y, a little...
This is Jesus' age.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was a good year for some reason. It was a good year for me. Yeah. 33 and 40.
Did your paths, to segue into promoting your wonderful new film, Mr. Right,
yes.
Did your paths cross on the Joe Swanberg experience in Digging for Fire? I can't even remember. Did you share scenes?
Very briefly. I'm actually Anna's father. And, no. We had a good time on that. That was kind of guerrilla filmmaking in a way that I wasn't accustomed to. You'd worked with him before.
Yeah.
And we were only working 6 hours a day. And
no, I was shooting another movie in the daytime.
Is that just the
And,
Swanberg Way?
The night that we met, I had been shooting Cake in the daytime.
That's right. And Messina was doing that
Messina
too.
was doing the Cake. Yeah. So then at night, I would go and shoot this movie with Joe, and Sam was there, and Chris Messina and I are like making out in a pool. And then the next day, I'm like playing this buttoned-up wife, and he's playing like, you know, the beleaguered divorcee.
Right.
So he's in a suit and I'm in like a floral top. And the previous night we're like running around doing fake lines of coke. So that was a very odd experience to see him the next morning.
Yeah.
Like, it was like we'd had a real night of like partying, and you see each other at the office the next day, and you're
awkward
trying to
encounter.
both pretend that you're like respectable citizens.
Yeah. It was willy-nilly. It was out there. It was definitely it was out there. But it was fun. And we had Brie Larson and
Jake Johnson,
Rosemary
who's
DeWitt.
great.
Insane cast. Yeah.
Rosemary.
So does that screw with your head, guys, when you're doing either two films at once, or you're doing a play and you're trying to do a film or something like that? Is it almost good to kind of be?
I've gone back to back, but I haven't done that. That sounds really intense. I don't know if I could do that. That's intense.
You managed though, Anna. It was a little screwy for a little while, but it was workable.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I think you do. People ask me about that kind of thing a lot, but I don't have trouble with it because I think, you know, you are a slightly different version of yourself all the time with different friends and family. Like, you're always a slightly different version of yourself, and so, you know, I would feel weird if I were playing like two characters on the same set. I think, like, you know, like something like Moon. I don't know, like, I mean, I guess you're playing the same, you know, person, the same DNA, but like, I wonder maybe that would be really tricky, because when I go from set to set, it's like I can be a different person.
You'd be good at that. You're really facile. You're very quick, and I think that's just who you are. But I think but you're younger. As you get older, things start to fade.
You managed on Moon. You were fine there, man.
Yeah, I was younger then, but yeah, I think you'd be really good at that, because that's like a rhythm thing, and it's like a dance. I feel like it's like music. I think you'd be very good at that kind of a thing, actually. I saw Tom Hardy was great in that.
How you,
Legend,
is that how you did Moon? Like, I'm such an idiot. When we were on set, I never asked you.
No, it was a rhythm thing. It was all. I mean, you could talk about it for hours, but basically, it was a rhythm thing where, well, there's this motion control. I'm sure Tim can explain. You can't move anything. In the shot. It's this very loud camera, and so it's very technical. So then I would have an earwig, and so if one of the clones was coming to get the ping pong, I would kind of retract, and I wanted to retract. I would have to make a noise like that, or something, so that when I wasn't, because I'm not seeing anything. Yeah. So then when I heard the noise,
you know
that's your cue. Yeah.
You know, and it was very weird stuff. And to ad lib is kind of a nightmare. You have to fit in that little window.
Right.
So you have an earwig in your ear of the previous take.
Hearing yourself.
And I would watch it in the makeup chair when they would do the makeup for the other clone. We'd have to rehearse twice. That was a weird thing. And so the second AD, the first AD would be like, all right, let's go up to makeup. And I'd be like, Mick, we gotta do it again, but I gotta switch. That's very strange.
Well, speaking of sci-fi, I have to bring this up because I was just listening to you on another podcast the other day, and have you heard this? He talked about a Galaxy Quest sequel that was going to be shooting.
I thought you knew about that. Yeah,
I didn't know about that.
Dear Alan Rickman passed away, so.
Oh God.
Tim Allen's on a show that he can't get off of, and I think they bagged it.
Yeah.
We're going to do it on Amazon.
Oh my God, I love that.
I was growing a mustache. I was growing up. Thanks for saying that.
We all adore that one.
That's a heartbreaker.
What can you tease anything of what the story?
I was growing a mustache.
That was the first date I ever went on.
Really?
Ever in my life, first date ever movie. I went to see you in Galaxy Quest.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Sitting there going.
I didn't want to ask how old you were.
Are we gonna kiss? Is he gonna kiss me?
That's adorable.
In high school.
Was
amazing.
Was Justin coming back too?
In fairness, he didn't kiss me, so maybe it was not a first date. Maybe my first date was much later.
Yeah.
Well, did you eventually kiss him? Because maybe it set it up.
We did. Yeah, we did eventually kiss. Yeah, maybe
good vibes.
Good vibe. Like very sexy movie. Eventually, it was gonna get.
Tony Shalhoub and Missy Pyle. That's a
beautiful,
romantic thing.
Yeah, probably not biologically sound, but yeah. Was Justin coming along too? Was everybody on board?
Justin was going to do it. Yeah, Justin was. You know Justin Long, right?
I met him.
He was going to do it. Yeah. So
Crazy.
Yeah.
One of those things. So, okay, so you guys finally get together in a big way for this one. Crazy Max Landis script. If people don't know Max Landis' work, that speaks volumes. Because
she knows Max a little bit. I had known Max. He's a character.
He is a character.
He's a wild character. I kind of love him. He's out there. He's very dear. He's got a very dear heart.
Very earnest, but very...
his way he dresses, and it's wild.
He's like a cartoon character.
Well, supposedly Jesse Eisenberg based his Lex Luthor a bit on Max Landis in Batman vs. Superman.
That makes a lot of sense. That's amazing.
In so many ways.
Is Max going to be there?
Because it is with Max, you're like, I don't know, are you a hero or a villain? It could go either way.
Yeah.
So what does this is this one of those scripts that then pops off the page? Like, this is a unique, interesting dialogue that's worth
It was, right? It was a dialogue-driven script.
Yeah.
I mean, it was character-driven and we got to play real, interesting characters, three-dimensional kind of wacky people.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Have you guys had to do like a romantic relationship or something, or a sex scene on film with somebody that you actively disliked?
Yes.
How'd that go?
It was really... Oh, I should have just said no. Oh no.
Combing through the IMDb.
It wasn't like a big sex scene per se. I've never done like a sex scene. But there have been actors, like the one that sprung to mind when I so quickly jumped on that. Was like there was this one day, and it was there was a day where the director was like, and then like you guys kiss and whatever, and I was so like, I don't understand why we would kiss in this moment. I don't know, like, and I was arguing it from a character standpoint in a way that at the time I really felt like, I just don't understand why this moment? Why would we kiss in this moment? And then basically the director was like, because you're romantically involved. And I was like, right, okay, it's just that I don't like him.
Was it just kissing, or was it more?
It was just kissing, but it was just that weird thing where I couldn't justify kissing him because I didn't want to.
Even though
that it didn't make sense to me that like the scene, because within the scene, like, he didn't convince me that I wanted to kiss him. Right. And that was about me, not, like losing sight of...
Don't make it about your limitations. Yeah. You were working with an asshole.
It's true. You have to earn a kiss dramatically, don't you? Or comedically or whatever. It's almost like if you make a choice to smoke a cigarette in a cup or have a whiskey, it's almost like I feel like you have to earn it emotionally. Right. Within the story, like, why are you having the whiskey, or why are you kissing here? Like, you have to, I don't know if that makes any sense.
No,
but
completely.
Story-wise, you have to sort of earn it. And I think I know what you mean. I had it too a long time ago. Of course I can't say who it is, but yes, that is difficult. And I had the same thing, and it was like, there was it just wasn't gelling. Yeah.
I think that speaks volume of the unspoken people we're talking about, because you two are two of the most affable, I feel like, can get along generally with most people. And that's a good skill to have on a film set where who knows who you're going to be working with that day, and you need to kind of roll with it and be able to receive any kind of energy, right?
I think we've also, the two of us, been very lucky. I mean,
I've never been on a set where an actor is like making me, feel like psychologically damaged or sad or any, and some people have worked with people who make them feel bad, and that, that hasn't happened. I've had personality clashes, but I've never had something where I'm like, I wouldn't want to be in the same room with that actor. Like, that's,
We have a silly sketch to shoot in a second, so we'll vacate the office in a moment. But I do want to ask, so you guys have a lot going on. I'm going to see you a couple times, Anna.
Pitch Perfect 3.
What are you, my press?
Apparently,
yes. Thank you for listening, my girl.
Is there a timetable for that? I wasn't even going to ask, but is there?
What?
Pitch Perfect 3. Do we know what the timetable is? Anything?
It is like nothing I have truly, I'm saying it with a smile on my face, but it is truly like nothing I have ever experienced, where we are being kept in the dark.
Really?
In this weird way that, like...
It's like you're in a Star Wars film. You're like...
except that it's like, I'd like to think that they wouldn't do that to, to Daisy on like film 3.
Exactly, the key components that have been there from the start.
Where you're like, I kind of know. And also, like, it's not going to be like a big, like, oh, is she related to Luke Skywalker? Like, there's nothing like that. And it's like, oh, what songs are we singing? It's like really, but it's not Inception. It's not Star Wars. Like, nobody's going like, oh, I need to find. No,
what's the big secret?
We don't know that.
There's not like forums devoted to fan theories.
It could be going in a new direction. Maybe.
Crazy.
You're gonna beatbox.
Insane.
That's the big secret. Hey, was Elizabeth Banks directing it?
I think so.
Okay.
I had heard. Yeah, I think that's
cool.
the plan still.
That's cool. That's cool.
So that's coming up. You're promoting a couple films coming up soon. You and Zac Efron and Adam Devine have something funny.
I know
cooking.
Adam Devine and I are in another movie together because he's in Pitch 1 and 2.
Oh right, of course.
And he's in Mike and Dave. And again, we like sort of made a point to make it through the whole movie without ever making eye contact. Because so this is the third movie now where we're in the same movie and occasionally in the same scenes, but never acknowledge. Like, we want to maybe do like a version where one of us is like Tyler Durden.
I was going to say, I had a theory for a second this was the asshole you were talking about, but no, you love Adam.
I love Adam. I just did some press with Adam in Austin, and it was really fun.
Nice. And so
I do like hanging out with him. We just like made a point to not make eye contact on screen.
Oh, you're doing a thing with Zac Efron. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him.
He's great.
I like him.
He's
in
a great
Neighbors.
guy.
He was really good in that.
And Sam, I just saw you on stage. Amazing. Oh, you're looking at the Michael Shannon?
Yeah, dude. What the F is that, bro?
Michael Shannon, non-sexual escort?
Awesome.
It's a sketch I did with him.
Weird.
Dude,
I love it.
you will love it. I guarantee it is pure Rockwell.
What does that mean? That's amazing.
It was a sketch where I ordered him as an escort, but he comes over just to entertain me and nothing sexual.
That. I gotta watch that.
You'll love it.
Entertain you like as an actor, or just like hang out and be your buddy?
Exactly, the latter. So it's like we play like Twister and stuff like that.
God, that's so funny.
Yeah, he sings me a lullaby. It's actually one of my favorites.
That's great.
Which is the perfect segue. We're going to go off and do something really stupid right now.
Let's do it.
You guys ready?
I love stupid stuff.
Let's do some stupid stuff.
All right, guys.